The forest was quiet, sunlight barely piercing through the thick canopy above, when we stumbled upon something truly extraordinary, a ghost of elegance and prestige from a forgotten era. Buried under decades of moss, fallen leaves, and rust, sat an abandoned Rolls-Royce, cloaked in mystery and time. The unmistakable silhouette of the spirit of ecstasy, still faintly gleaming through the grime, told us this was no ordinary car. This was a luxury icon that had once transported the elite, now left to decay in the solitude of the wilderness for nearly half a century. The question was immediate: should this relic be hauled off to the scrapyard or brought back to life? We knew our answer the moment we saw it. The recovery wasn't simple. This car had been swallowed by the forest, roots had grown around the wheels, and time had practically fused it to the earth. We had to use winches, planks, and a ton of patience just to get the vehicle unstuck. With every tug and pull, more of the car revealed itself. Beneath the rust and grime, a classic Rolls-Royce frame peeked through. Its bold front grille, round headlights, and luxurious proportions were still there, barely holding on under years of neglect. The journey to revive this masterpiece had just begun. Getting the Rolls onto a trailer was a feat in itself. It took hours of clearing debris, inflating cracked tires just enough to roll, and careful lifting to avoid breaking what was left of the suspension. On the way back to our restoration garage, the car drew attention from every passerby. Some couldn't believe what they were seeing. Others simply gave us a thumbs up, knowing the treasure we had on our hands. Once we got the car into our workshop, the real work began. First, we took detailed photographs of the entire vehicle. Documentation is essential in a restoration this delicate. Every bolt, badge, and panel must be restored with precision. The badge confirmed our suspicions. It was a Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow, a luxury sedan produced in the mid-1960s to early 1980s. Judging by the wear and VIN, this particular model was from 1970, making it 55 years old. That meant it had been abandoned for almost its entire life. The disassembly phase was tedious but necessary. Every single part had to be removed, cleaned, labeled, and assessed for either repair or replacement. As we peeled back the layers, we discovered signs of rodents nesting in the engine bay, corrosion eating away at the floorboards, and mold taking over the leather seats. Still, the car's bones were solid. The chassis wasn't bent, and the engine block, though seized, was intact. We started with the engine. It was a 6.75-liter V8, a marvel of its time. We had to soak the cylinders, clean out all the carbon deposits, and rebuild nearly every component from the ground up. Pistons, valves, gaskets, oil seals, everything needed attention. But we were determined to make it run again. Weeks of labor paid off when we finally turned the key and heard a deep, rumbling growl. It wasn't perfect, but the engine had life in it. That sound alone was worth all the effort. The transmission was another beast. Years of immobility had locked it up completely. We disassembled it, cleaned every gear, replaced the fluid lines, and tested it rigorously before reinstalling it. Then came the suspension. Rolls-Royce cars are known for their smooth ride, largely due to their hydraulic self-leveling suspension. Ours was completely shot. We had to rebuild the hydraulic system from scratch, replacing hoses, pumps, and accumulators. Next came the exterior. Sandblasting the body revealed dozens of small rust holes and weakened metal panels. We cut out the rust and welded in new metal. Every line and curve was reshaped to factory specs. Then came the primer, sanding, base coat, and finally, a rich, deep silver paint, the kind of finish that reflects light like polished metal. Clear coat followed, bringing out a mirror-like sheen that restored the Rolls' original majesty. Inside, the work was just as meticulous. The original leather was too far gone to save, but we sourced period-correct hides and hand-stitched the seats, door panels, and headliner. We polished the original walnut trim until it shone like it did in the 70s. Even the analog clock on the dash was restored to full function. The smell of new leather mixed with polished wood brought back the old-world charm of British luxury. The wheels were restored to factory standards and fitted with new whitewall tires. The chrome trims, which had been dull and pitted, were re-chromed until they sparkled. We even tracked down original Rolls-Royce hubcaps to complete the look. Every badge and emblem was cleaned, replated, and replaced exactly where it belonged. Finally, the moment of truth arrived, the full systems test and the first real drive. We turned the key, and the engine roared to life. All gauges worked. Lights, indicators, wipers, everything was functional. We eased the car out of the garage and took it down a country road. The feeling was indescribable. This wasn't just a restored car, it was a resurrection. The suspension floated over bumps like clouds, the engine delivered smooth power, and the cabin was quieter than some modern luxury cars. Driving that Rolls-Royce felt like stepping back in time. It reminded us of what automotive craftsmanship used to be, hand-built, timeless, and full of character. There's a reason these cars were symbols of royalty, diplomats, and global icons. And now, after being forgotten for over 50 years, this Silver Shadow was back on the road where it belonged. This project wasn't just about restoring a car. It was about giving a second life to something once admired and now neglected. It was about honoring the engineering and design that once set the standard for luxury. And more than anything, it was about preserving history, turning ruins into legends, one car at a time. As we rolled the finished car into our collection, it joined other masterpieces we've saved from the brink. Each one tells a story, each one a testament to the art of restoration. This Rolls-Royce, once a forgotten shell in the forest, now stands proud among them, a true legend reborn. Our team is already looking for the next restoration candidate. Should it be a Ferrari buried in a barn? A muscle car rusting away in the desert? Or maybe a long-lost Jaguar sunk in a swamp? We'll go wherever the story takes us. The thrill is in the chase, the labor is in the rebuild, and the reward is in the first drive. To all our fellow gearheads, dreamers, and preservationists out there, never underestimate what's possible with vision, skill, and heart. Because sometimes, all it takes is one look at a rusted-out relic in the woods to see not what it is, but what it could be. That's the magic of restoration. And this Rolls-Royce is proof.